Zodys, our first step into the big box department stores. This is the quick accounting of Zodys. Is a company that started in Southern California and launched around 1960, wound down during the mid 80s, and financial trouble and competition from like Target and others forced its closure. But it operated across California, including Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, and Michigan before it finally shuttered around 1986. Now, this is what it looked and felt like. This was the big box store before big box stores were cool. This was low ceilings, fluorescent lights, long aisles of mixed merchandise, clothes, housewares, cheap cosmetics, some electronics, seasonal junk you didn't need but you wanted. And the layout says economy, not luxury. It could be music or PA systems, employees hustling change, kids tugging carts. The vibe was functional, slightly chaotic, but absolutely purposeful. You came here to get value. This is what was consistent about like this region and how these chains operated. And it worked because this is for the value-minded customer. This is how it functioned. People who were budget conscious, families, working class, young couples, people who needed decent goods without the department store markup. So this was shopping while stretching the dollar. And it was convenience. Zodys were often anchored into neighborhood malls or shopping centers, so they were always a local option. People picked Zodys up because it fit their life logistics. It was near work, it was near school, it had easy parking. And if you grew up near Zodys, it was very predictable. It was a quick errand, it was cheap, it was no fuss. And Zodys did have a psychological identity to its customers. They were pragmatic pride in their confidence as shoppers. I snagged a good deal. This was a low-key win that feeds confidence about status, or more than status. And this was an idea of consumer shame versus community solidarity. Discount shopping was a trigger stigma. If you were not boutique, but in a tight community, that stigma often flips, and shared pride in becoming savvy, comparing finds, trading tips, is a social currency of its own, being thrifty. So shopping here, it meant you were part of the local economic rhythm. School season was back, back to school clothing runs, holiday bargain hunts. These were ritual anchors of memory and identity. And just overall, man, this was a time where we were coming out of some scarcity. So when we saw signs like limited quantity and tags like that and rotating seasonal bins, they created dopamine hits. Like joy in coming up on something that you think is, a good thing is a micro thrill. It's you find and you save, and that keeps people coming back. And for shoppers on a budget, this was a straightforward value promise and reduced a lot of decision making. It's fewer options, but it's simple trade-offs. And now, Zodys shoppers' memories are often sweet. The fluorescent hum, the sound of the register, cheap toys that lasted. The nostalgia isn't just for perfect quality, it was the ritual. Like going there, being in their stores was an experience. This was a big part of suburban life. Like chain stores like Zodys helped normalize access to consumerism, and households could furnish themselves, clothe, and celebrate without wealth. And this access reinforced middle-class aspirations while keeping spending realistic at these stores. And when they disappeared, they didn't just lose a retailer, they lost a ritual and a part of the neighborhood. Now, the dark side of this is that you had communities where shopping signaled status, and being a frequent discount shopper could carry a negative or sadly, not good stigma. And then buying cheaper goods can create a longer cost versus buying good items. But in blunt, Zodys was a practical survival, low-key pressure type store. You could save money, you might enjoy the tiny victory in the moment, you belong to a local routine, you were away from the boutique thrills and the high luxury quality, but you gain ritual, convenience, and community out of a bargain savvy community. And when Zodys died, a small piece of the neighborhood disappeared along with it. So this is something we never get back, just a part of American culture, especially for someone from California like myself. Shopping at Zodys was a whole psychological experience that kind of really developed the whole let's buy, or this bulk buying or discount buying that really drove its customers.